And we're live.
Hey, hey.
Hey, hi Alexis, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am awesome. I am awesome. Hey everybody, this is Clyde Keep coming to you live from Gulfport, Florida. I'm super excited that you're here to have us so we can talk a lot about shit today. We're talking a lot of
Yes,
shit
let's
today.
talk about it.
It's the shittiest Facebook Live ever. I just love it's been so fun all these posts. When Melissa asked me to like take care of the poop group this year or this month, I was like, that sounds like fun because I love talking about poop. So
Yeah.
um welcome everybody. I am here with the naturopathic doctor Alexis Ewen from Essential Wellness in Holt, Michigan. And we are
Hello.
going to talk a lot of shit today
I
about
love
the importance of pooping. And so let us know where you're watching from. Go ahead and comment down the city and state where you're watching from. And if you are learning anything, go ahead and drop down a poop emoji. We want to see lots of poop emojis in the comments. So lots of poop emojis in the comments. And we're going to go ahead and get started here. Alexis, why don't you tell us just a little bit about yourself, your background, just quickly, because I know a lot of people know you from the group already because you've been posting and kind of doing some other. And we really appreciate everything you're doing, for our community to help us learn more about gut health and all the things that you're doing for us. It's really been awesome and amazing. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we can get into the sciencey stuff about poop.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm Alexis Ewen. I'm a naturopathic doctor. I've been practicing since 2012. I have 5 kids. I homeschool all of them. Super crazy. Busy always, seeing clients regularly at my office here in Hull. I have a collective, so I have other naturopaths, massage therapists, a counselor, anything to do with chronic health is here from an alternative perspective.
I love it. I love it. I love it. That's awesome. Yeah. And the 5 kids thing always just blows my mind. I mean, they're awesome kids. I've hung out with them obviously a number of times because Lexus is also my niece, so we're family.
Yeah.
But so they're
And we
great
love
kids.
Florida. We do not
Yeah.
love 40 degrees, raining, and disgusting. We love the beach and the sunshine.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So I totally get that. And they're great kids, but I'm just like, oh my God, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it. I really don't
Oh
know how
my
you do it
gosh.
because I can't even handle like Nick and Apollo. So uh all right, so let's talk a little bit about you wanted to start out with some of the sciencey stuff about poop.
Yeah. Okay. So I just really wanted people to understand, especially lab and gut health is so important, right? And we forget about this like delicate balance of the GI tract. Our body is full of bacteria, full of it. You have about 4 pounds. The average person has like 4 to 6 pounds of bacteria in their body. And that helps to keep things in perfect balance, right? And so when we specifically go to the GI tract, there's about 39 trillion um, bacteria in our GI tract, and that helps to keep everything moving perfectly. But then that bacteria can also get thrown off really easily. Your diet, stress, menopause, pregnancy, surgery, any kind of pharmaceutical medication, and even over the counter medication can throw off that delicate balance. And then we become constipated, have diarrhea. I don't know if I mentioned in that list our diet, right? Um, our diet isn't made how our human body we don't eat that way. We don't eat the way that our body was designed to eat. Fruits,
Yeah.
vegetables, nuts, seed, lean meats. Probably more than 50% of our diet comes from something that was processed in some way outside of the design of that food, right?
I think that should be a whole nother Facebook Live we do one day. I mean,
Yeah,
right? Because there's so much to that. People think like, oh, I eat healthy because I blah blah blah. But like
right.
it's not how we're supposed to eat.
It's not how we're supposed to eat at all, right? We should be able to be eating 2,500 to 3,000 calories and be lean and fit. But because of that food is so altered, this throws off our gut balance. And so that's like really what I want to talk about is how your GI tract, this bacteria gets overthrown. This gets thrown off by candida, by bad bacteria, by strep, by staph. All this we have good bacteria, right? And it should be always our bad bacteria should be in check. No one is without bad bacteria. If you believe, oh, I don't have candida, I don't have parasites, I don't have strep, I don't have that. No, you have it. It just is your good bacteria is always keeping it in check. But then that list of things that I said, right? Pregnancy, menopause, stress. We are a society that lives in chronic stress. You throw off that good to bad bacteria, and then here we are. We have shitty problems, right? We have constipation, diarrhea, and chronically, right? Mucus in our poop. Our poop not actually looking how it is supposed to look, because we're not actually digesting our food. We're not getting the nutrients from our food. This is a serious problem in our society, and we have come to live and accept that how we poop every other day, or we poop 12 times a day with diarrhea, that's the norm. And oftentimes a doctor will say, like, if that works for you and you're okay, then it's okay. But it's definitely 100% not okay.
So the whole idea is to get that there's more good bacteria than bad bacteria, so therefore you don't have an issue with it, right?
Yeah, right. We got to keep our bodies in check, and all the things I listed, hormones, all this stuff. It overwhelms us. And when we don't take care of the little things, then over time, like I'm talking 5, 10, 20 years, big things happen. Chronic illness happens. And it wasn't because what we did last week or even last month. It is a buildup. And so now when we look at the lab products, they're helping to increase your nutrients, keep the stagnation that's in our GI tract, keep things moving, replace good bacteria, replace enzymes that our bodies are short to digest the food. We also, our society, I feel like maybe this is mostly men, because I think of my husband, but they drink coffee and then they say, like, I poop every day. I poop once a day, no problem. And are you only pooping because you had a stimulant that allowed you to poop? Or is your bacteria and your GI tract functioning normally, that if you had no coffee for a month, would you poop every day at 8 o'clock after your first cup of coffee? I don't know.
Right.
But these are all things that we say are like, oh, I poop every day, I'm completely normal. But your skin tells me you're not. Like there's other things that indicate that you have chronic health, and that begins in your digestive system.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. That's awesome. So how often should we be pooping?
I mean, once or twice a day for sure. You think food goes in, it takes about there's something called a beet test. So you can juice beets or drink beet juice or eat a beet, and you can see the transit time, because your poop will be bright red, pink, like that beet. And you can see the actual transit time of your digestive system. So
that's very interesting. I hate beets, but I might try it just
to see in this shitty month, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Month, that's something, a good test.
Maybe I should go Facebook Live. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my God. So we think of this transit time should be about 36 hours. So when you eat and then you go poop, you're not pooping out your burrito that you just ate. You're pooping out what you ate 36 hours ago. So if you're lacking in fiber, if you're lacking in nutrients, then this transit time could be sped up or slowed down. So you're really looking for 36 hours. And every time you have a sizable meal, not a snack, but when you have like your big meals of the day, maybe breakfast and dinner, lunch and dinner, maybe you have a late breakfast, a late dinner. I don't know what people's rhythms look like.
Yeah.
But when you have your big meals, you should be moving food from yesterday or 36 hours ago out. That would be a normal rhythm, right? When lots of food goes in, lots of food comes out. And that is not what we see as the norm. If people poop once a day, they're pooping based off stimulants that are going into their body. But I hear regularly that people are pooping every other day, every 2 to 3 days, that's when they're having bowel movements that are sizable. And this is definitely not what we want to see at all.
I love it. I love it. We're going to do some questions at the end here real quick, but I just wanted to point out at the very bottom of the description of this Facebook Live, it gives you some instructions about how to give StreamYard permission to display your name, because a lot of the comments that are coming through just say Facebook user. So we'd like to see who you are that are doing the comments. So at the bottom, just follow that instruction real quick and give StreamYard permission to do that. So just I wanted to throw that in there because I'm seeing the comments come through and they don't have a name on them. So just so we can do that real quick. But okay, awesome. So we talked about why pooping is so important. We talked about how often you should poop. And you kind of started to touch on a little bit more about like what color and shape should your poop be?
Sure. We wanted that perfect chocolate brown, a long snake, very smooth on the outsides. This would be perfect. It comes out easily, right? You don't have to strain hard to get that bowel movement out of your body. It's like, oh, I gotta go. And then you go and it takes, 3 to 5 minutes at the most, and it's over and it cleans up easily, right? That is not what we experience, right? When we're doing rabbit pellets, even like sausage, but maybe a lot more lumpy of a sausage, more like a caterpillar. We look at that as being, you're dehydrated. I mean, outside of I don't know everyone's bacterial load in their gut, right? Or what kind of probiotics they're taking or what that looks like. But that alone, we just say is constipation. You haven't taken enough water and minerals in to support your digestive tract. So your body is always looking for balance, right? So it robs Peter to pay Paul. And often your GI tract is the last thing because your brain and your heart and your liver, cleaning your blood, keeping blood pumping, those are vital. So if they need minerals or vitamins, those are stripped first, and your GI tract, which is actually the most important, which supports the prevention of chronic illness, is last. And we see that in our poop, right? So
that's so interesting.
We can go all the way so that outside of that snake or like maybe like a little bit rough looking on the edge of but sausage, a full log, and we want those to sink. That means that was actually waste. That wasn't nutrients. That wasn't excess fat, meaning your body didn't digest the fat appropriately. And then
So your poop shouldn't float. It should sink.
It should sink. It should go right to the bottom of the toilet.
No floating poop, people. No floating poop.
And then we look
if you poop in the pool because it's
right.
Sorry, that's where my brain went.
No, I love it. This is so great. That's why this works, right?
I love it.
And then when we think of soft poop, like that's just doesn't have really great consistency or is straight up diarrhea, we look at just from a basic standpoint, you're lacking fiber. You need your chia seeds, your flax seeds, your fruits and your vegetables. You are not having enough roughage to hold your poop together. But then we also look at allergies or reactive bowel syndrome, right? You have mucus in your poop. Sometimes that diarrhea poop is actually a lot of mucus because your body is reacting to allergens. Adverse reaction, right? That's what I like to call it as naturopath, because allergies there's like a huge spectrum for that. And but when you have mucus in your poop, you are likely having an adverse reaction to something you are eating regularly: corn, soy, peanuts, gluten, dairy. And when you begin to cut those out, this is outside of lab products, but when you begin to like scale your diet back to some fruits, some vegetables, some meats, and then start adding things in after 30 days, you can actually see where your gut health actually is, what kind of poops you have, and what things you're actually reacting to. And this can very much change your GI tract health. And then the lab products, right? Like Morvita is full of minerals and vitamins. This is like your multivitamin in my mind. If you take that every day or twice a day, you are getting tons of vitamins and minerals to help keep the integrity of all of your organs and the integrity of your GI tract. You need vitamins and minerals to keep everything in check, so your body's not robbing from other places.
That's a really good question. I mean, we're not here talking about Morbida today, but since you brought it up,
Yeah.
would you say, unless someone is deficient in something specifically, right?
Yeah.
Would you say Morbida does take the place of any like a regular multivitamin that somebody would take?
Yes, that's what I would use, like just the average Joe, right?
Yeah.
Who maybe, I mean, like you'd be surprised at the amount of people who don't even take any supplements, right?
Yeah.
And so this would take the place of your multivitamin, your multi-mineral, and then, like your diet, right? I hope when people
Yes.
start to feel better, I just saw someone say that, how the fitness bundle changed their life. So when you start to feel better, you start to poop every day, you start to have more energy, your sleep is better from the fitness bundle. So you wake up feeling energized, feeling like you can tackle your day. Then you have more energy to make the better food, to eat better, your mind is clearer to make better decisions instead of
it all goes hand in hand. It sure does. Yeah.
What comes first, the chicken or the egg? I don't know.
Yeah.
But
No, yeah, exactly. It does all go hand in hand for sure. All right, so let's talk a little bit about, I know this seems funny, but the risks of pooping and then the risks of not pooping, right? Because there's risks to both.
Yeah, 100%. So, if you're having that poop that is you're pooping chronically, diarrhea or loose stools multiple times a day, you are stripping away that nutrients. Your GI tract needs to have that 36-hour mobility, right? That transit time, because it's delicate. And I've said this a million times and I keep using that word because when that gets off, you are no longer absorbing the nutrients you need to absorb. Feces is becoming packed along the edges of your GI tract, blocking nutrient absorption, and it's also increasing your toxic absorption. Your GI tract is one of the places where in the small intestine, it pulls out nutrients, it eliminates waste. And then when that system isn't working perfectly, or once a week, like someone mentioned, you're absorbing toxins into your bloodstream for 36 hours minus 7 days. So we're looking at 5.5 days of toxin absorption, hormone absorption that are supposed to be eliminated, heavy metals like pesticides, herbicides. We are exposed to this stuff. There's like very few people that are not exposed to toxins, parasites. It's on your food, even your organic food. It's when you drive in your car and you smell someone's exhaust or someone smoking out the window, right? Like even the best, the healthiest people have this a toxic load. And if you are not pooping, you are not getting rid of it regularly, or you are not absorbing the nutrients that you need to. So the risks of pooping so frequently is like you are not getting the nutrients from that food. It's moving so quickly through you. And then the risks of not pooping are that toxic absorption. Also hemorrhoids, right? When it's hard to push, you are breaking blood vessels either internally or on the edge of your rectum. Fissures from hard, large stools. You're getting little rips and tears on the outside, making it painful, right? And then we're nursing wounds.
Those are like take a long time to heal sometimes too, right?
Yeah. Especially moist, dark location. They're not getting a lot of oxygen. You're hopefully wearing pants most of the time. And so, these are places that get injured. We're embarrassed to talk to our doctor about it. Many people wait too long until there's a rupture, there's blood in the stool, there's severe pain, there's an infection before they're like, hey, I'm having a problem. What can I do to help this? And this is where your natural doctors, companies like Lab are creating systems that are helping this, your GI tract heal. And this,
Yeah.
powerful. We're looking at results all over the Healthy Holistic page that is saying how lab is changing their life.
Why do you think people would be embarrassed to talk to their doctor about these kinds of things?
I mean, I don't know. I talk a lot about embarrassing things all the time, and I don't really have that a very good filter. But I feel like it's just like our private parts. Like, is there something wrong with me? I feel different. People just, it's our private parts,
Yeah,
right?
I gotcha.
And
Yeah.
we just have a lot of feels, a lot of judgment. Like, why is this happening to me? Why? And then I think sometimes, like, I'm always afraid to talk to my doctor because I don't want pharmaceuticals. I want to keep my body as clean as possible. And I know that that's the only option. And so going to looking at other sources, looking at other options and trying other options. And nothing is like short term, right? Like, I wish people would say how long it took for them to become pooping regularly, right? Because generally, if you've had chronic constipation or chronic diarrhea for 10 years or for 5 years, you're not going to become regular in 30 days, maybe. And I would be like so happy if that was the case. But usually, you get a little bit better and a little bit better. You poop once a week. Now you're pooping once every 5 days. Now you're pooping once every 4 days. And then you just get regular over time. And we are not a patient society. We need instant gratification, instant results. And that is not how our bodies work. It took years to get sick. And now it takes years or months, hopefully just months, to get our bodies back in check. And we need to be patient and consistent. It's like the number one thing from a natural health standpoint is patience and consistency. Don't give up after 30 days. Don't give up after 60 days. A minimum of 120 days, 4 months.
And I know you've told me a bunch of times, sometimes it's going to get worse before it gets better, right?
100%. You might go from, like the detox tea, right? We see people who are very unhealthy GIs, they take the detox tea and then they are having, I can't do that. I have so much cramping. I have this. Stick to it week after week. Follow the protocol 3 times a week, 3 times a week, 3 times a week, 2 times a week, right? Follow the protocol. Get with the person who sent you here and talk to them about the protocols. See how they can help you. They are equipped. They have access to the knowledge. And if not, they can send you to me and then I can help you via a Facebook message or through the person who brought you here. I know Lucy and Ashley and Clyde have asked me lots of questions for their people just so I can guide them. There's no perfect answer. Every single human body is different. There is no cookie cutter, but this system works. If you get on the fitness bundle, I guarantee you will have results.
Absolutely.
And
if you guys are learning something, go ahead. I'm sorry. What was that?
Oh, and lab backs it 30 days. If you don't have results and you don't like it, get your money back.
And we love the 30-day money back guarantee, but I do think it's super important. The point that you made is like 30 days maybe not be enough, right? Like you're probably going to start to see some results in that 30 days, but like you really need to commit 120 to 160 days, like, right? To like really know that it's going to work for you in long term.
Consistency, right?
Yeah,
this is
100%.
not our strength in American society.
Yeah, right.
So even if you like have been doing it for 120 days, did you take it every day faithfully? Did you take it at the right time? Did you take the sleep? Did you take did you take the detox tea 2 to 3 times a week? Did you take your Activate in the morning? Like, truly ask yourself, was I consistent?
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys are learning something, drop a poop emoji down in the comments. Down in the comments. And if you have any questions, drop them down as well. Because if we don't get them answered during the live, we'll go back and Lexi can answer them in the comments as well later. So, okay, let's talk about how we should sit when we poop. Now, this was made very popular by a Shark Tank product that came out, which we're going to have some fun with in a little bit here. But talk to us a little bit about how you should sit when you poop and why.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I wish I would have pulled there's like images you can find on Google, right? That talk about like actually the squatting position. So I had two kids, my first two kids had chronic constipation, lots of pharmaceuticals we did. This is what brought me to natural health. And so we basically taught him, he was little, right? He was yeah, an adult can't do this, to put his feet on the edge of the potty and to squat. And if he did that, then he could poop. And so we think of like in China and other countries where they have a hole in the ground and you squat and you think, oh my gosh, that's so barbaric and that's so this. But it's because our body was designed to eliminate the poop the best in that position. Actually, our throne that we have in our Western cultured homes is not ideal. It's not ideal. It doesn't put our colon in the best, our anus in the best position to eliminate our stool. And we are not of people who have soft, smooth poop that flows out of them and sinks to the bottom of the toilet. Most people don't have that experience. And so the squatty potty, am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go.
no, we're gonna have some fun stuff because we're gonna actually give a squatty potty away. I haven't worked out the details how that's gonna work, but as we continue out through the poop month, we're gonna give a squatty potty away. So we'll have some kind of contest or something that we'll do later in the month to do that. But like, yeah, so the squatty potty does this, right? It makes you kind of sit in this position.
It gets you in that position. So I mean, if you didn't want to invest in a squatty potty, a $10 stool from Aldi or IKEA or Target, you know, just a little kid stool can also help. It doesn't get you in the perfect position, but putting your feet on that stool, especially if you're having problems and you're looking to get your body in an ideal position, that will help. So as you're starting this process, getting your feet up on a stool to help that poop come out better. So you're straining less hemorrhoids, less fissures, less just physical strain. Like people blow blood vessels in their eyes straining to get their poop out, right? Like we want that poop to flow right out. And as you're increasing your nutrition, increasing your water, using the detox tea, which is what we're here to promote, is the detox tea. If this resonates with you at all, you should go buy 2 bags, get 2 bags free, and share with a friend. Talk about poop with a friend. Like, I guarantee that everyone has poop stories. Everybody could use some really solid knowledge on their digestive tract and their poop. And you literally might change someone's life. If you only poop once a week and now you can poop every day, that will change your life. I guarantee if you start talking about poop with people, you will change your life.
I agree. I totally agree 100%. That's why I know I get a lot of shit from talking about it a lot on my Facebook, but like I think it's super important that we like make it we normalize talking about poop. I think that's important. We do
talking
have a question.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was like talking about hard subjects. There's so many hard subjects, right? That we shy away from in our society. And if we just start talking about them just like shit, right? If we just start talking about them aggressively, you will be surprised at how many people struggle with secret health issues that they do not want to talk about. They are embarrassed to talk about, and you can change your life for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we have a question here.
Okay,
and actually I know who this is. This is Jody, friend of mine, one of my customers, and so we talked about this, and actually I think I brought it to your attention. So she says, I was a daily pooper, but since she started the fitness bundle, she's not going every day.
Oh, weird.
So, right, kind of weird. And so what would be some of the reasons that maybe that would be happening with that? Like, how would that change her going from a daily pooper to not a daily pooper when you start adding?
I'm curious if she's still watching. Like, so when someone has something like that goes kind of opposite of what we expect, I start to ask questions, right? Like, so from a naturopathic perspective, like, what's your stress like? Just because you're taking sleep every night, are you actually sleeping soundly? What are did something happen with your like morning routine? Did you stop drinking coffee, right? Because maybe you were going poop every day because you were using something in your life, a stimulant that was causing you to poop. And now you're like, Ashley South, I feel like talks about this, like her taste for coffee just left when she started Morvita and being really consistent. And so maybe there's things that did change when you started this process, but I would
Diet,
instantly,
maybe you start eating differently and stuff like that too. Like,
yeah. So
yeah.
I'd instantly say more water. If you're not pooping every day, more fiber and high stress. So gave up your daily monster. So
Yeah.
is that the same person? Can you see that?
Yes, that is the same person. That is Jody. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so there's probably subtle things that happened. And so now we need to get in a rhythm. So one of the rhythms I would say, depending on how far you are, if you've done 2 detox teas a week and then you're at 3 detox teas, and then I know you kind of go back if you're like starting to poop regularly, but maybe stay at 3 detox teas a week until you can get that going regularly.
Can you do too much detox tea? Like, is there something you should like be careful of doing that too much?
Absolutely. So if you're seeing like mucus in your poop, if you're seeing it be like diarrhea, not just like, it is kind of a little more of like a cow pie clearing out kind of poop. But if you're seeing that like it's watery, it's mucusy. We didn't talk about this in the beginning, like when we were talking about poop, but if you're seeing food in your poop that's undigested, that means it's moving too fast. It wasn't enough time for that food to break down and for nutrients to be absorbed. I mean, like, you need to be in touch with your body and be vigilantly watching. But if you're not pooping every day, we need to be making changes. And maybe for this, yeah. So 3, okay. So is that the same person?
Yeah, it is. I know. I can see names on where I'm looking here too. So yes,
Okay.
that is.
So getting up to 3 detox, I would never do more than 3 detox teas a week. And I think the goal in my mind is to do 2.
Yeah.
But getting yourself going, also increasing cleanse. So cleanse is not just a probiotic. I don't know if people read those ingredients right, but there is digestive enzymes, herbs that help with the liver. So these are all things that help digestive long term, right? Help break down the food that gets in your stomach and then help replace the good bacteria. So you could take cleanse morning and night. That could also help if you're all of a sudden not going. Increasing your digestive enzymes helps to digest the food, break it down so you don't get any kind of constipation throughout the GI tract. And then those probiotics are always good to throw off the good and bad bacteria balance in your digestive tract. And then to kind of look at what happened. Did stress go up? Did I give up something, a stimulant that maybe was helping me poop, but wasn't actually my own body? It was a forced thing.
Absolutely. Awesome. So, Victor, and I'm not sure what UC is. So the major concern I have with detox, because of one of its major symptoms of UC, is too much. He meant to say shitting, not shifting. But do you know what UC is?
I don't.
Okay. Maybe Victor, if you can want to clarify that, we can maybe try to get that question answered, or we can go back to it in the thing. So, awesome. God, this is so much great information. I mean, so much poop talk. I love it. I love it.
I love it.
If you want to have a friend watch this Facebook Live because you know it's informative, invite them to join the Healthy Holistic Lifestyle group, because it's great to have them in there anyway to learn about all the other things. There's so much valuable information in this group. And then tag them in the thread of this Facebook Live, and then they'll be able to see that. So, ulcerated colitis.
Okay, so this is so good. This is Victor, you said?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so probably there are major concerns I have with detox because when the right, 100%. And ulcerative colitis, you probably have underlying food allergies or food reactivity. And detox tea does have gluten in it. And so if anybody who has gluten sensitivity, which is most people with ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, celiac speaks for itself.
Yep.
That would not be my go-to. And so you are looking actually to slow your transit down, or not to speed it up, not to get things moving. I would be doing 2 more Vitas, morning and night, because you are lacking nutrient absorption. And so long-term diarrhea, for years and years, and most people with these chronic digestive issues, these chronic autoimmune digestive issues, are lacking nutrients. Their body is no longer doing that. They're just moving it out as fast as they can because it's so reactive. There's so much inflammation. So doubling Morvita, doubling cleanse, and really being very cautious of your diet. And if you have specific questions, Victor, you can, I think it's very easy to find me and message me. I've gotten messages from people.
Yeah, she's tagged in the post, whatever. And so I do want to just mention a couple things here. Okay, so for like, normally we don't talk about all these like conditions and medical conditions and stuff like this, right? Now, Alexis is a naturopathic doctor, so that's why we bring experts on, because she is qualified to talk about these things. So we're legit as far as compliance, but it's important that you as a customer or an IBO of lab don't talk about these types of things necessarily 100%. With your clients. It's a good idea to keep things very general, and when you're doing that. But Alexis is a great resource. She's always available to kind of like answer questions in the group and things like this. She also does have a practice, Essential Wellness LLC, and I'll point you the link is all that in there. So if you ever wanted to contact her through her business, she would be able to talk to you about how she works that out with working with you as a client as well. So it is an option. Yeah, to kind of look into as well. Because she's amazing. She's amazing. I get the family discount. So, but yeah. So, okay, great. So that was awesome. Thank you, Victor, for your question. That's great. Let me see where we're at with. I think that was pretty much where we were at with everything we wanted to talk about. If you make sure I have this right thing. If you are looking to learn more about the lab products, please get in touch with the person who invited you to this group, because they would be more than happy to like connect you with the information about the products. Inviting people to this group is always great because there's tons of resources. Make sure you're using the keyword search feature in this group, because it's awesome to be able to go in there and just type in like Morvita, or type in cleanse, or type in detox tea, or whatever. And there's tons of testimonials and information on there, as well as the person that invited you can send you directly to the lab Facebook page, where it has all the nutritional supplement information, all the details, all that kind of stuff that's in there as well. So Lexi, what would you like to wrap up with? What would you like to just kind of finish out with talk some shit to us a little bit. Tell us a little bit more about
I just cannot stress consistency. Consistency. That is taking the products and seeing real results is all about consistency. And it's the little stuff, right? Just doing little things every single day. So this week you're going to take all your supplements, then you're going to add in water, then you're going to add in more smoothies, soups, and salads. If we ever work together, I like to stay within that. I think those are your high vegetable, your high lean meats, and low additives kind of foods. Salads, smoothies, and I'm not big on saying low calorie, but eating as much soup, salad, and smoothies as you can. These are foods that are easy to digest. Our bodies tend to like them. They're full of fiber. But being consistent. And I mean, this is in some ways a business, right? And so buying the 2 detox teas and getting the 2 free and sharing them with people, because again, people are suffering with GI problems. Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. I would say if you talk to 10 people, 8 of them are not pooping every day on their own at all. So talk to them, share this with them, invite them to this group, start talking about poop, start talking about uncomfortable things, and it'll be great.
I just dropped Alexis's, I tagged her in the comments, as well as dropped her Facebook page in there. So you can follow her Facebook page, and then her contact information is all through there as well. So you can kind of take a look at all that. So Thank you so much for your time. This has been
I
so
love it.
informative and so awesome. We appreciate you so much for everything you do for our lab community, and we
Yeah.
just can't thank you enough.
I look forward to talking to more people.
All right, guys. Everyone have a great day. Make sure you take advantage of the 2 promotions that are out there. The buy 2, get 2 free.
Yes,
As
super
well as
good.
if you buy a fitness bundle, you're going to get an extra bag of tea. You normally get 1, but you get an extra bag of tea with a fitness bundle, which is really, I think, what we probably recommend the most is to get the fitness bundle and do it all, because that's going to give you a comprehensive wellness package that you're going to get to be able to use.
Yeah.
So you guys have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for joining us. If you have other questions, drop them down in the comments, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a good day.
Okay.